So a quick look at the top half of the table then. You can see it's third against seventh, Chelsea against West Ham. Chelsea looking good for a top four place, especially as they've only played 31 games. Compare that to those below them who've played more, including Manchester United, who've played 3 more. But Arsenal, you have to say, are closing. West Ham probably out of the running now for a Champions League spot via the league. They're 8 points away from the top 4. But were they to win the Europa League, then they would be in next season's Champions League. The bottom half, the relegation situation, Everton, that's that 1 point cushion. They play later against Liverpool, by which time Burnley would have played 2 more games. And Burnley, as I say, all they need is a point because they have a better goal difference against Wolves this morning to move out of the bottom 3. The relegation picture now looks like one of either, Everton or Burnley, to join Watford and Norwich. Good morning. Welcome along to Sunday's Premier League mornings. I'm Rebecca Lowe, Tim Howard, Robbie Mustoe alongside me. Plenty of time to talk about Chelsea, West Ham and Liverpool with the title race. But we're going to begin by talking about the prospect of Everton being relegated. It's never happened in our lifetime. Tim Howard spent more than 10 years at the club. Today, as I mentioned, if Burnley get a point, about half an hour before Everton kick off, they will know. So they'll probably be in their warm-up. They'll know if they're in the bottom 3. Is that something, Tim, that will be mentioned, be whispered from player to player out there or in the dressing room?
Yes, and if it is, and it should be, that's something that the players will absolutely know. They know exactly where they sit in the table, what's expected, what's needed, and that pressure isn't needed for this Everton team. I mean, they'll literally be on the pitch at Anfield if and when Burnley get a result, and I can assure you, all of those Liverpool fans that filtered into the Kop during the warm-up will let them know exactly where they stand. So there's a lot of pressure on this Everton team today. And look, I think that whether they're talking about it in the dressing room, whether Frank Lampard has made note of it, every single player will know what the Burnley result is. And
it changes psychologically, doesn't it? If you actually drop into the bottom 3, it feels different for fans, I think, and for players as well. So do you think if this reality hits and Everton were to be relegated, Robbie, would that be for you the biggest club ever to go down?
Well, it's right up there. It's right up there. I think when you look back at Leeds United, Aston Villa being European champions in the past, in their history, huge football clubs as well. But, you know, like you said, we've never known it. From watching the game from a kid to playing in it and now to analysing it, never thought about it. I mean, this is kind of unthinkable. It's unthinkable that Everton are in this situation right now, given last season, 10th in the league, 59 points. 59 points last year. Different manager. I mean, they lost some players, of course. You know, James Rodriguez was a star when he first came in. But not really. I mean, Moise Keane, Luca Digne, which, like, has been a disastrous decision. Bernard, Moise Keane. I mean, just look at the list of players that have gone. But after that, Rebecca, for me, a series of terrible decisions, bad decision-making at key moments with managers, with players. You know, you're looking to bring in Frank Lampard on the back of shaky inexperience, really. He lost his first 5 of 6 in the Premier League. Just bad decisions everywhere, even from the January window. Like, you know, from bringing Dele in, that's done nothing. Van der Beek's had moments, but he's injured right now. You know, Marcel Brands, Rafa Benitez was a risky hire. You know, Marcel Brands was let go. Rafa Benitez was given more power. He sells Luca Digne. He gets fired. They bring it. I mean, it's just a series of events that's led to the situation that Everton are staring at the face, or in the face of the abyss, really.
Those are just decisions made this year, because there's been risky, shaky decisions made over the last 5 years that have led them to this point.
What about the decision on who leads them no matter what happens? Are we all happy that Frank Lampard is the right man, whether they stay up or go down?
Are we all happy? I don't know if Mustoe will agree with it, but I think he is. I think that when I look at the appointment, you know, again, I go back to, like, Manchester United and what they're doing. Listen, if Frank Lampard is the manager, let him be the manager. Whether they stay up or go down, I think he's got the ideas, for at least for this club, and certainly he showed that in the championship with Derby that he could do it. Okay, albeit over the course of one season, but there has to be some stability at some point at Everton Football Club.
Well, if they go down, Frank will continue, in my opinion. See how he goes. If it doesn't go well, he's not going to last very long. I think going back to decisions, he hasn't done anything at this football club. He hasn't affected anything. They're not any better, and that is on Frank Lampard. That was a decision again. You know, it was a big decision. The fans wanted Frank Lampard instead of other candidates that were being banded around at the same time. And I get it's very, very difficult to bring in good managers at this point in the season. But he hasn't, and he's a brilliant guy. He was an amazing player. We know him a little bit, and such a great guy, but he hasn't had an impact, Rebecca, and that's got to be concerning. If he can keep him safe, he can regroup. Maybe they can do a little bit of trading in the window, and he goes again. But right now, that hasn't worked. And
it's a harsh word. I get what you're saying. I think he's inherited a team low on confidence. I don't think
make them better. Make them better.
But the quality in the team has been poor. The quality is standard. It's not as if he could even pluck players from the bench who got put into obscurity from the last manager. They haven't been very good. I will say the next three are tough: Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester, but they have an opportunity after that to pick up points.
Yeah. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Rebecca's thinking back, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been a big miss. Sure. No question from last year to the injuries he's had this year.
Such a long injury, didn't he? Then he came back and now he's injured it again. So Frank Lampard hasn't got too many options today. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.